When we are learning sound design, it is very often that we look in the internet or everywhere for information about the technical stuff of it. How to do certain kind of techniques or some tricks to create new sounds and stuff. But to be honest, what I consider that it is the most important thing in sound design is to follow and give some information through the narrative properties of sound. The narrative properties are involved in the whole audiovisual language, but through sound we can have an extra help to give information to the final viewer about the whole story and the whole plot. Now we're gonna make a couple of videos that will help us illustrate the narrative properties of sound and how do they help to the whole plot and the whole story. We're gonna divide them into two categories. The first one is gonna be context. The second one is gonna be intention. So in this first video, we're gonna talk about these contextual narrative properties of sound, such as geographical determination, climate and weather, cultural and social determination, and also time determination. Sometimes these narrative properties of audio can be very independent, but sometimes they can mix each other and the boundaries can be very diffuse. Now we're going to do some examples using some videos coming from some movies that will help us understand this kind of narrative properties. Geographic determination. Sound can help us evoke different environments, parts of the world, or different surroundings. These two guys in the movie Jackie Brown by Quentin Tarantino in 1997, they are talking while watching some TV, and we can quite know where they are. Listen to the sounds of the environment and we can clearly hear that they're on the beach or very close to the seaside.
Hold up. But let me tell you though, man.
Now, in this scene from the latest version of Jumanji, it will become very clear that they are in the middle of a jungle, but with this very close shot, it's not very obvious, so it is job of the sound designer to make it clear to the audience. Oh yes, now it sounds like a jungle and looks like a jungle.
Guys, I don't sound like this.
Weddings can have a very different personality depending on the place you're in. In this scene by Alejandro Iñárritu in his movie Babel from 2006, he uses sound and music as a very powerful narrative property to reinforce the experience of being in Mexico while these two are getting married. Climate and weather determination. Natural phenomena have their own sound, and we can help give the context of what is going on with Mother Nature when the scene has been rolled. Cultural and... Maybe when this scene was shot, it wasn't that loud, the sound of the winter inside of this room. Still, the intention of the director, maybe, was to transmit all the coldness that was going on outside, and you can actually see on the breath of the actors. So, audio has to do its job, also reinforcing the sound of the winter inside of the room.
Would be frontier justice. To me, it doesn't matter what you did. When I hang you, I'll get no satisfaction from your death. It's my...
On the other hand, on the movie The Help, we can find this indoor scene that is not very clear to us what time of the day it is or how's the weather outside.
Miss Hilly, I would like to ask
But
you
after listening for a while, we can clearly see that it's a very beautiful and sunny day outside.
My twin boys graduated from high school, both on the honor roll.
Cultural and social determination. Societies around the globe, they also have their own sounds, and we can reinforce the experience for the viewer that they are in the middle of that society and that cultural world. So here are some examples. For social context and reference, music can give a very useful hand sometimes. In this case, in the movie It Takes Two, we have a very fancy party while listening to some jazz music.
Escargot, Miss Calloway?
Why, thank you, waiter person. I'm starving. I mean, I'd adore one.
Now, in the movie Rosario Tijeras, they wanted to show us through audio where these two people were having this conversation. And apparently it is a very heavy party in a very dark discotheque and very dark topics going around.
Mandó el mensajero, ¿qué?
No. No me dijo nada. El mancito no me dijo nada. Lo que pasa es que ya lo quito, lo veo sufrir.
Bueno, pues él sufre menos.
Now, in this short film called La Liga Pa'l Muñeco, the fireworks sounds and the diegetic music is trying to help us realize that this is the very last day of the year in one of the outside areas of Medellin, Colombia. Many times, the camera is not only responsible for showing what time is it, so sometimes we can use sound to give that information to the viewer. When it is getting dark, the ambient sounds change. Besides being very silent, nighttime can have their own sounds, mostly because of some animals that may come outside at night. I know, it is very cliché sometimes, but it can really give very good information about what is the sound of nighttime.